Okay, so in test tube 1, okay, dalam eksperimen 1, try to recall balik. So kita ada tabung uji, inside got hot jelly, alright, so agar-agar yang panas, okay, so mengandungi campuran dua bahan kimia lagi. One, potassium hexacyanopherate 3, another one is a phenolphthalein. So phenolphthalein untuk mengesan kehadiran ion hydroxide, OH minus, while potassium hexacyanopherate 3 untuk mengesan kehadiran ion Fe2+. Now in test tube 1, water and oxygen. Now we'll see whether these two present or not. So water and oxygen present. Okay, oxygen may be understandable, ada udara, ada oxygen. But water came from where? So kita gunakan potassium hexacyanopherate 3 solution. Solution bermaksud mengandungi air. Alright, anything solution, larutan mesti mengandungi air. So water is already there. Alright, so at the same time, oxygen with the air inside the tube will provide us with the oxygen. Okay, so dua ini hadir. Water and oxygen hadir. Okay, in 10 minutes time, if it cuts off, so you rejoin again. Dalam 10 minit lagi, kalau Zoom cuts off, you rejoin again. Alright, so I'll repeat again. In test tube 1, right? In test tube 1, water and oxygen present. So water came from where? From the solution. Potassium hexacyanopherate 3. Bila ada perkataan solution, that means mengandungi air. Contain water in it. Alright? Oxygen, udara yang ada dalam tabung uji tersebut. Now, because of that, rusting of iron occurs, akan berlaku. Janji oksigen dan air hadir, maka pengaratan besi akan berlaku. So rusting of iron will occur to produce Fe2+ iron and also hydroxide iron. Okay, now macam mana kita dapat hydroxide iron, kita lihat. So ferrum will ionize. Okay, remember, ferrum will ionize. Bila ferrum ionizes, ianya akan membentuk Fe2+ dan dengan membebaskan dua elektron. Okay. So ferrum cannot ionize simply. So when they release electron, somebody must accept this electron. Siapa yang menerima? So inside the test tube, kita ada oxygen from the air and water from the solution will gain this electron. So they wait lah for once they have enough for electron, they akan ambil 4 elektron ini dan membentuk ion hydroxide. So they produce hydroxide ion. So remember, this is very important point. Okay, when one metal involved, bila melibatkan satu logam sahaja, oksigen dan air akan menerima elektron ini lalu membentuk ion hydroxide. So inside the beaker, inside the test tube, inside the hot jelly itself, kita ada ion Fe2+ dan ion hydroxide. Okay, OH minus. So dua-dua ion ini, once they are close enough, they will get attracted to form Fe(OH2). That will be the next slide. Okay, so the Fe2+ will be detected by the potassium hexacyanopherate 3 and will give you dark blue coloration. So blue coloration lah. So ada blue coloration, that means Fe2+ hadir. Now phenolphthalein. Alright, phenolphthalein will detect the presence of hydroxide ion. Bila ada ion hydroxide di dalam larutan tersebut, it will make the solution to be alkaline. So that alkalinity will cause the solution to become pink coloration because of the phenolphthalein presence. So phenolphthalein akan menyebabkan larutan itu berwarna pink kerana ada hydroxide ion. So this Fe2+ and hydroxide ion akan bergabung membentuk FeOH2. If you recall back last class lesson, when we study about rusting, this is what happened at the second stage. So look at this formula, Fe bracket OH close bracket 2, di penghujungnya saya tulis dalam kurungan solid atau pepejal. Bermaksud dia membentuk mendakan pepejal berwarna FeOH bracket 2 ini adalah pepejal solid. Bila pepejal, kadar pengionannya rendah. Alright, so the rate of ionization, once they form a FeOH2, they form a solid compound. Those hydroxide available is the one yang akan menjadikan larutan itu berwarna merah jambu, pink color. So most of them will go and bind with the Fe2+, makes the concentration of hydroxide ion to be low. When the concentration of the hydroxide is low, the pink coloration will be low. So you bandingkan balik dengan jadual tadi. So you will observe the pink coloration, intensity of pink coloration adalah rendah. Okay, will be low. Okay, now masuk kepada test tube yang kedua pula. Dalam test tube yang kedua ini ianya melibatkan what we call dual logam. Okay, dual logam. What are the metals? Iron, Fe, serta magnesium. Dua logam terlibat. Bila dua logam terlibat, first thing yang perlu kita lihat ialah siapakah lebih elektropositif? Who is more elektropositif? Iron atau magnesium? Siapa lebih elektropositif? So of course from here we know that magnesium is more elektropositif berbanding dengan ferrum. Okay, siapa lebih elektropositif? Magnesium. Maka magnesium will ionize instead of ferrum. So siapa akan mengion? Magnesium. Ion Fe2 ada atau tidak? Tiada. Why? So magnesium yang mengion, bukan ferrum. Ferrum kekal sebagai Fe sahaja. No Fe2+. When there's no Fe2+, maka potassium hexacyanopherrate 3 won't detect Fe2+, so therefore no blue coloration. Tiada mendakan berwarna biru yang kelihatan. So if you observe this one, for combination of ferrum and magnesium here, the small table on the right hand side here, the intensity of blue color is nil, no blue coloration. Why? Because no Fe2+ ion. Tiada. Yang ada Mg2+. Mg2+ tidak akan dikesan oleh potassium hexacyanopherrate 3. Potassium hexacyanopherrate 3 only to detect the presence of Fe2+, not Mg2+. That's why there's no blue coloration. Okay, fine. All right, so introduction first. So when we have two metals, so dark blue coloration does not appear. Why does not appear? Because no Fe2+ ion presence. Okay, so this implies that Fe2+ ion tidak hadir. Bila tidak hadir, besi tidak akan berkarat. That means the paku besi tidak akan alami kakisan, so no rusting will take place. Alright, before we continue, let me recall back. Ferrum and magnesium. This test tube 2 contain two metals. In test tube 1 hanya ada satu logam sahaja. Test tube 2, test tube 3 ada dua logam. Now we look at when ada dua logam, bila satu logam dulu, kalau if you remember one metal, the electron released by the Fe2+ akan diterima oleh oxygen and water molecule. One oxygen molecule, two water molecule plus 4 electron untuk menghasilkan 4 ion hydroxide, 4 mol ion hydroxide, right? So when there are only one metal, oxygen and water involved. But then when there are two metals involved, bila ada dua logam terlibat, what will happen is that water, okay, next, so when there's a two metals involved, what will happen here is that water molecule will split. Water molecule akan pecah kepada ion hidrogen, terurai kepada ion hidrogen dan ion hydroxide. Okay, remember, when there are two metals involved, dua logam terlibat, molekul air akan terurai. Alright, will split into hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion. So here you can see the difference. Kalau satu logam sahaja, oxygen dengan water molecule will take up the electron to form hydroxide ion. When there are two metals involved, water molecule alone will split into hydrogen ion and hydroxide ion. So jadi kalau kita look at this equation, one H2O will produce one hydrogen ion and one hydroxide ion. So the quantity hydrogen ion and hydroxide sama. When they are same, they are neutral. Okay, they are neutral at first. So the electron released by magnesium just now, the electron released by magnesium must be accepted by someone. So who is the individual which element will accept this electron? So the element that will accept the electron is the hydrogen ion produced from the water just now. Alright, bila air terurai, ianya menghasilkan ion hidrogen dan ion hydroxide. Okay, so saya ada ion hidrogen, ada ion hydroxide. Ion hidrogen akan mengambil elektron ini dan membentuk gas hidrogen. Okay, what they form? Hydrogen gas. Okay, so hydrogen gas inilah yang akan dibebaskan sebagai gelembung-gelembung gas tadi. Alright, okay, kelas.
Let's go!